What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have the NG Models October 2023 releases for you guys. I'm super excited to see what NG has for October 2023 after Gen9 Jets announced theirs yesterday, well, as of this recording. However, this is actually going to be going out the day after the release were announced because I was mostly out the entire day. I went to San Jose as of this recording, so I didn't really have much time to do the release reactions because I was pretty much busy, kind of like some family bonding in San Jose, and it was very fun. But I'm here, I just came back home a couple of hours ago, and here I am reacting to these releases. So, we're going to start off by looking at the hints. I don't want to go in too much because I just want to dive into the releases right away. We might get a Fantasy 747-8 Intercontinental, so I'm excited for that. We might get some 737 MAX from Asia or something. Probably a 757 from South America. We got a couple of, I predicted British 777s and possibly an American special delivery for a Boeing 777. Next up, we got a lot of November registrations for the Airbus A320 family, mainly the A319 and A320. Most likely, I'm thinking there might be an Allegiant there. I'm not really quite sure for the A319s, but possibly Deltas. We might get some JetBlue, Spirit, Alaskas, most likely Alaskas, and probably Deltas, and hopefully we can get some Frontiers. We might get some Iberias or some other airlines from Spain for the A330 family, and of course we got our Tubalobs. So nothing really to go much over there. And yeah, so without further delay, let's get started with the releases. And eventually, when I go into the website, I already saw that they already announced the October releases, but at least I didn't see everything. So here we go, October releases. I think I was out in San Jose the entire time. I did not really pretty much see everything. Well, I woke up early in the morning to check on NG's website. I saw a little snippet. Well, kind of saw a little bit of it, but it's to the point where I don't really see anything at all. I don't even know what aircraft it was at, but hopefully we get something good. And yeah, I'm just super excited for it. So, without being said, let's move on to the NG Models, or in this case, let's dive down into the NG Models October 2023 releases after I get a sip of water. Alright, and here we go. So let's get started with our first model on deck. Let's see what our first model is. Hopefully it's a good model. Alright, going on downwards. We first have is a Baltic Air Boeing 737 MAX 8. So I got that prediction correct. However, is it in the all-white livery? Is it? Oh, actually, it's in the pattern livery. It has a very nice pattern. Now, Baltic Malaysia was the first Boeing 737 MAX operator. They are the launch customer of the 737 MAX. Oh shoot, it's kind of hard for me to go through this because hopefully I did not see everything, but I just only saw this Bonza Baltic Malaysia Boeing 737 MAX 8. So as I was saying, Baltic Malaysia is the launch let me rephrase it. So Baltic Malaysia is the launch customer of the Boeing 737 MAX 8. I thought it was going to be Southwest, but nope, I guess it's Baltic, and that was back in 2017. And I think Baltic Malaysia got switched into I think they merged with Lion Air, if I were to guess, and they still operate this aircraft as today. But overall, I think this model should be nice, and yeah, really nice for all the Malaysian collectors. So, this aircraft is registered Niner Mike Lima Romeo Foxtrot. So, a very interesting start for the Boeing 737 MAX family. Alright, moving on downwards, next up we should have is... Here we go, and there she is, the Boeing 747-8 freighter. Is that a typo? It's a BOAC 747-8 fantasy livery. Fantasy cargo livery? Oh, I see. BOAC cargo Boeing 747-8 freighter. So that is a very interesting choice. This is another fantasy livery. And yeah, nice that NG Models is using the Boeing 747-8 mode. And yeah, this should be another nice fantasy livery. Of course, they also have the fantasy passenger variant of the Dash 8 already there. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be in this release set, but hopefully. But we do have this beautiful BOAC cargo 747-8, a BOAC cargo 747-8 freighter fantasy livery. And this aircraft is registered Golf. How fitting is this? The aircraft registration is Golf Bravo Oscar Alpha Charlie, BOAC. That's a very fitting registration for this aircraft right here. Very nice. Alright, so now moving on downwards, next up we'll move on to our 757s, and let's see what model it is, what airline. That is the Boeing 757-200, and this has got to be, it's an emblem, but what is this? That is the presidential aircraft Boeing 757 for the Republic of Argentina, or in this case, Republica Argentina. So yeah, it's quite a very interesting livery. I do like on how the livery represents the Argentinian flag. And I've seen all these videos on Instagram and some on YouTube that this aircraft literally, like, when this aircraft got delivered, it literally did like a very low pass and made like a sharp bank to the left at a very low altitude. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe the Argentina government managed to do that yet again. I think that's kind of like a bit concerning for the FAA, because I don't think an airplane should fly low at that altitude. I mean, if a plane were to do some stunts, I don't think it should do that, but I mean, it's the Argentinian government, so what can you do? I mean, like, they got their aircraft delivered, so they decided to, like, pull off that stunt. But other than that, I think this should be a very nice model for all the Argentinian collectors and South American collectors. And yeah, this should be a very nice aircraft in 1/400 scale. So this aircraft is registered. That's a very interesting registration right there. So this aircraft, well, I'm not sure if you could call this a registration, but the registration is Alpha Romeo Golf 01. Probably that's like I don't even know how I can call it, but it's quite an interesting registration. Is that like I don't even know, honestly. I don't even know, but that's a very cool registration right there for this Argentina presidential aircraft 757-200. Alright, so now moving on downwards, let's move on to our Boeing 777s now, and let's see what we got first. We first have, there we go, there's an aircraft I predicted, the American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the pink ribbon livery with, of course, the bare metal livery. And how fitting is this livery, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so really nice that NG released this as upcoming releases for the October 2023 releases. So this is a very nice livery for all the good old retro American guys. Yeah, and I do like the style of the livery. You got like the ribbon that starts with the cockpit, the bottom of the cockpit windows, and it forms like a very nice ribbon flow leading all the way to the fuselage, and it ends all the way at the back of the tail, well, the tail of course. And yeah, very cool. And of course you got this logo right there, Breast Cancer Awareness. So yeah, very cool aircraft, and this aircraft is registered November 759er Alpha November. So that's the aircraft right there. That's the American 777 pink ribbon Breast Cancer Awareness livery. Alright, so now moving on downwards, we should probably move on to some British Airways models. And let's see what we have first on deck for the BA planes. First up we should have is a British Airways Boeing 777-200ER. And how about this? This is in the Great Festival of Creativity livery, equipped with Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines. So this is a very cool livery from British Airways, and I do like the style of it. Not sure what this like art really represents here, but I do like some kind of like flower or something, like tree branch. I'm not sure if this is like a flower that's really present in I'm not sure if this is like a flower that is located in Britain, but it's very cool. And of course you got the Great Festival of Creativity, which is very nice. So yeah, of course I'm trying to get on a hunt of a British 777. I haven't got one. I just got the British A350-1000 and that's it. But hopefully I can expand on my British Airways fleet. And this aircraft is an interesting registration. This aircraft is registered Golf Yankee Mike Lima. And I did see this registration back in San Francisco International Airport during my plane spotting session back in October 2022. And I got a very nice picture with the SFO ATC tower. And yeah, a very nice photo. So yeah, I may consider getting this in the future. I'm not really gonna get this right away because I gotta save up on some money. Of course, with November coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday and all that. I do want to save this, but hopefully I can get this somewhere around November. And yeah, it should be a very nice model for the British collectors. So yeah, that's the British 777 Great Festival of Creativity livery. And yeah, so now moving on downwards, we should have our second aircraft, our second British 777. And what is that going to be? That is going to be the British Airways Boeing 777-200ER, and very interesting livery right here. Of course, equipped with Trent 800 engines, and this is in the Panda Flight livery. And I think this is a very cute livery. So pretty much everything is just the standard British Airways livery, except at the very front of the plane, it has a very cute panda face in there. It's so cute. You got like the black nose, you got the mouth, and then you got the eyes. That's a very cute livery, and I do wish this livery still existed. I think it's already repainted into the regular British Airways livery. Hang on, Golf Yankee. Yeah, she's already in the regular livery. And yeah, I mean, like, I do wish, yeah, like I said, I do wish this livery still existed, but this is a very cute livery, and yeah. Don't need to explain more, it's just a cute livery, and nice that Yankee is doing all these 777s with Rolls-Royce engines. So this aircraft is registered Golf Yankee Mike Hotel. Alright, so now moving on downwards, now we move on to our Airbuses. Wait, Airbuses, just to make sure. Yep, Airbuses. We'll start off with our A319s. So now we start off with our Airbuses. So let's get started with our Airbus A319 first. We first have is, oh, actually, how about this? This was not in the hints. So we now have a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner blank model. How about this? Okay, now I'm really tempting on getting this model. I mean, not right away, like I said, because I want to save on some money. But how about this? A blank 787-10. That is a very perfect model if you want to, like, do a custom out of this aircraft. So, I might have to write that down on my list, but like I said, I'm not gonna, like, order it right away because I do want to save up on some money. And yeah, but that's on my list. That is on my list. And yeah, it's a very cool blank model, and of course, should be perfect for customs. And of course, we don't have a registration of this aircraft because yes. Alright, so now we move on to our Airbuses now. So let's see what we have first for our Airbus planes. We first have is a VC-1A, which is basically an Airbus A319. And what this aircraft is, that is the Brazilian Air Force One Airbus A319. Of course, they call it the VC-1A, kind of like similar to like the VC-25A for the US Air Force One on the Boeing 747-200. But we do have this Airbus A319 named VC-1A, and this is the Brazilian Air Force One. So, yeah, a very interesting livery. I kind of like the style of the colors. You got like some form of cheat line over there, so it runs all the way at the forward area, and it goes all the way to the aft area and ends at the APU. And this is kind of like, I'm assuming this is like the presidential seal of Brazil, or just like the seal of Brazil, maybe. But I'm taking a guess, since this is a presidential aircraft, that's got to be like the presidential seal of Brazil. And of course, you got the name Republica. Oh boy, don't even know the names of this. Republica something Brazil. Republica Federativa do Brazil. Do apologize if I butchered that, but very interesting aircraft right there. So this aircraft is registered Foxtrot Alpha Bravo 21 or 2101. Quite an interesting registration, similar to that Argentina 757 presidential plane. So yeah, that is the VC-25. I'm thinking of Air Force One. VC-1A Brazilian Air Force One Airbus A319. So that's the model right there. Alright, so now we move on to a very interesting stuff for our Airbus A319 section. Let's see what we have first. Hopefully, of course it is a November registration, but hopefully we can get something good for the Airbus sections, Airbus A319s. So it's going on downwards. Let's see what it is. Hopefully it's good. And we do have another one. And what is this O/C? It's the same registration, but... Oh, wait. Ah, now I get it. So, the difference is, there's no, like... So this... Hang on, let me go back to that. So this part right here, you see, like, the green and yellow, that part right there. That is not present on this one right here. So you don't see that. And, yeah, so... That's the only minor change to this livery, but other than that, it's just the same airplane and nothing to go over. It's just same airplane, same registration, all that. Alright, so now we move on downwards to our November registered AC-19s, or just a singular November registered AC-19. And what is that gonna be? Hopefully it's good. That is, okay, so moving on to something different, we do have a China United Airlines Airbus A319-100. Of course, the Chinese knockoff of United Airlines, as I like to call it. But this is a very interesting livery. You got like this isn't really a cheat line. Well, of course, kind of like cheat lines, you got like a maroon and a red cheat line right there, and then you got this part of the livery, and then you got the CUA tiles right there, China United Airlines right there, and their language right there. And yeah, a very interesting livery for the Airbus A319. Of course, I'm not really as interested in Chinese models, but if you like collecting these models, then go for it. But I'm not a person who collects Chinese models. But other than that, this should be a very cool Airbus A319 model for your collection. So this aircraft is registered Bravo 4090. And yeah, so now we move on downwards. Let's see, because like there were 3 A319s with the Bravo 4 registrations. I'm not sure what plane that is. So moving on downwards, next up we should have is another Airbus A319 from China United Airlines. So yeah, kind of like going for all these duplicates. I'm not really gonna complain too much of all these duplicates. It might be the same livery, but it's just the same registration. Well, it's the same livery, but it's just different registrations. So this one is registered Bravo 4091, and I'm assuming we have a third China United Airlines A319 registered Bravo 4092. Do we? Call it. So yeah, we have 3 China United Airlines Airbus A319s. And yeah, once again, I'm not really gonna complain too much. It's just 3 duplicates of the same airplane, but all 3 airplanes have 3 different registrations. So yeah, I mean, at least it's enough for everyone, for all the Chinese collectors. Of course, many people, well, mainly North American collectors, aren't really not as interested in all these models, so you can pick which one you want. So it'll be either 4092, 4091, or 4092. Wait, did I say 4092? I meant to say 4090. So you can choose either of these 3. So I mean, like, if you just want to get all 3 of them, then be my guest. But if you just want a certain aircraft or a certain registration that you like, then yeah, go for it. But other than that, we do have all these China United A319s, 3 duplicates, and of course we have somewhat of a duplicate of the BC-1A, but I don't care too much. Alright, so now we move on to our November registered planes, and well, our singular November registered A319, and what is that gonna be? That is gonna be, oh yes, sir, how about this? Delta Airlines Airbus A319. Wow, interesting. This is a very interesting move from NG. Wow, now we finally have a US registered A319, and what a way to start it off with Delta Airlines right here. Very nice. So yeah, very nice aircraft right there. Of course, I mean, like NG models, I think they started releasing some US registered A320s with that Spirit A320neo. Now here comes the A319. Of course, Gemini Jets, they announced this on their future releases during the beginning of September, so that's basically the 1-400. But I guess I'm gonna go for this NG version, this NG A319, because I mean, I already have an A319 in my collection before, but I never have just another A319. And seeing NG models doing this Delta A319, that is just perfect for my Delta Airlines collection. Of course, yesterday's Gemini Jets release was absolutely big. Of course, with that that Delta E175. Wow, oh my god, I can't believe those. So this should be another nice addition to my Delta Airlines collection. And I never have like a certain A320 family member from Delta Airlines in my collection. So this really pretty much marks the start of it. So really gonna just excited for that model. And of course, NG's A319 mold is gonna be absolutely amazing. So this aircraft is registered, and I was close to getting the right registration. This aircraft is registered November 301 November Bravo. I predicted November 302 November Bravo. But I've seen Delta's AC-19s before, but I'm not sure if I saw this particular aircraft. Um, just looking through all these archives. But yeah, I'm glad that NG has finally done an AC-19 from Delta Airlines. And yeah, I think I might opt for this Delta AC-19 from NG instead. So I'm gonna pass on that. Yeah, I've seen some Delta AC-19s before, but I'm not sure if I saw. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it there. So I don't think I saw this registration yet, but hopefully I can soon. So yeah, there's the Delta AC-19 right there. Now let's move on to I think we move on to our A320s, and we got a lot of November registered A320s that I'm gonna talk about. Well, not necessarily talk about, that I'm gonna go through a lot. So I might be getting a couple of NG A320s in my collection, so I'm excited for that. So let's see what our first A320 is. Let's see what we have first. First up, we have an Alaska Airlines Airbus A320 in the San Francisco Giants livery. Very interesting right there. Of course, Alaska Airlines during the beginning of 2023 retired this airplane already, which is unfortunate, but hey, at least we're getting some NG models releases on it, and yeah, very nice. So here's the Alaska A320 San Francisco Giants livery. Not really too much of a special livery, they just put in the Giants logo right there, and they painted the winglets orange to represent the colors of the San Francisco Giants. That livery is on a Boeing 737 MAX now, and it's transferred into a Boeing 737 MAX. And personally, I think I do like the 737 MAX better than the Giants livery on the A320 because it has very nice details. They added their mascot over there, and yeah, let me just look up a picture. Yeah, it features a very I think the Max version, the Max San Francisco Giants livery has more detail. Of course, they got their mascot and San Francisco Giants logo as well, and it's very more detailed. So, yeah. But other than that, really nice that NG is releasing an Alaska A320. And yeah, so this aircraft is registered. Let me just pull it up. November 855 Victor Alpha, and of course, this is a former Virgin America airplane since Alaska and Virgin America merged back in 2000, somewhere in between 2016 and 2015. So yeah, that's the Alaska A320. Let's see what we have next on deck. Next up, we should have is, here we go, an Alaska Airbus A320, and I think this is the one with sharklets. Yes, that is the one with sharklets. So we have a sharklet Airbus A320 from Alaska Airlines. A very nice addition, and nice that we have a regular Alaska A320 in the regular livery, but quite interesting they added sharklets into this model. So yeah, very interesting, and of course it's just a regular Alaska livery, and of course they just retired this year, so that's unfortunate, but nice that we're getting a model out of this. And speaking of that, this aircraft is registered November 361 Victor Alpha. I did see this aircraft at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport back in September 2022, and I got a very nice golden hour shot of that aircraft, and yeah, very nice photo, and probably I might consider uploading that to Jet Photos just because of how nice it is. And yeah, quite interesting to see some Alaska A320s with sharklets. Of course, I see more fence wingtips, so seeing a sharklet is, I would say, rare. Yet again, it's uncommon to see Alaska A320 with sharklets. But other than that, I will get this model in my collection. I will add that to my list. I'll get that somewhere around November, of course, with Black Friday and all that. So yeah, that's the Alaska A320. So nice that we're getting more November registered planes. Of course, with these American registered Alaska Deltas and all that. What's next? Hopefully we get some more good stuff right here for the A320 families. Next up we should have is, yes, Spirit Airlines Airbus A320. And this is, what's this? Okay, so it has the Bearfare tiles with the sharklets. And yeah, I'm also may consider getting this model too. Of course, I'm still on a hunt for a Spirit model. Probably I might get that Spirit A320 Neo, or probably that Gemini A320 Neo with the black mask. But I'll also get the Spirit A320 Neo non-mask, and I'll also get this one too. And probably I'll also get the A319 and possibly the, not sure if I want to get the A321 Neo though, but I'll also get the re-released A321. So nice that we're seeing another Spirit airplane done by NG models, and how about on the A320? Hopefully they can do like a fence tip version of this aircraft. But we love to see it from NG models, and Spirit is also on my list for this month. So this aircraft is registered November 648 November Kilo. Very nice model, and yeah, I can't wait to get this model for my collection. Alright, so now moving on downwards, next up we should have is another Spirit Airbus A320, and I'm assuming this one has fence tip winglets. I called it. I was literally talking about this, and now it's there for October 2023. Wow. So yeah, we now have a Spirit A320 with sharklets and fence wingtips. I'll also get this model in my collection as well. And yeah, very nice that NG is releasing more Spirit models. I think ever since they released the Spirit A321, the first iteration of the Spirit A321, it took them a long time for them to like release another Spirit model, and glad we're seeing more Spirit models coming into the fruition. So yeah, a fence tip winglet A320, very nice to see it. And this aircraft was registered November 697 November Kilo. Also, I do want to mention about November 648 November Kilo. I saw the aircraft sister ship November 649 November Kilo back at Sacramento International Airport around June 9th of 2023. Back when this was when the Spirit Sacramento to Austin Bergstrom route was new. So I managed to catch that route, which is very cool. So yeah, Spirit A320s, now that's on my list. Alright, moving on downwards. Next up, I think we should move on to our AC30s, I think. Did we count to all four? I think we might. So, we got all four AC20s. All of them are November registered planes, which is very awesome. And they're all Alaskan Spirits, so that's very nice. Alright, so now moving on downwards, we might move on to our Airbus AC30s now. Let's see what our first model is. We first have is, ooh, how about this? A level Airbus A330-200. Now, from what I'm guessing, I think Level is like the subsidiary brand for Iberia, or maybe like that's part of like the Iberia brand. I'm not really quite sure, but usually Level will fly to San Francisco. Sometimes they would like use Iberia, sometimes it's Level, but other than that, we do have this Level A330-200 to be exact. So I may consider getting this model. Of course, I'm gonna hold that off. I'm gonna like see if I can try to like purchase this model soon. Of course, I've seen Level already, by the way. So very nice. It's a very nice airline, I might add. So yeah, Level Airbus A330-200. That is on my list in the future. So this aircraft is registered. Echo Charlie November Romeo Hotel. Alright, so now moving on downwards, I think we should have our level A330-300, I'm not sure, but let's see what we get. Yep, I was right, we have a level Airbus A330-300, and this is in the El Mago Pop Broadway Show promotion livery. Very interesting livery right here. So, El Mago Pop, I'm not sure if this is like an artist, a singer artist or something, but this is just a very interesting livery right here. So you got all this like stuff. You got the person right here. The Empire State Building is a nice addition to the livery. And as you can see, August 2023 on Broadway. That already passed already. So probably this livery is back into the level livery, the current level livery. So this livery might have gotten removed already. So this aircraft is registered Echo Charlie November Hotel Mike. Alright, so now we move on to our Russian planes, our Tupolovs or Tupolevs. Let's start off with our Tupolev Tu-154, and what aircraft is that going to be? Let's see what we have first. We have an Aeroflot Tupolev Tu-154, and this is like a prototype. This is like a prototype aircraft. I'm not sure what that is. That is a very interesting livery right there. So, is this like the prototype Tu-154 for Aeroflot? That is a very interesting livery. So you got a silver underbelly right there. You got the navy blue cheat line and a red cheat line as well. Very cool. You got the Aeroflot titles in Russian. You got the Soviet Union flag. Of course, you got the registration, which is Charlie 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 Papa, or CCCP, which was the name of the Soviet Union in Russian. or USSR in English, and then it falls between 85000. So quite interesting. That's a very interesting livery and quite an interesting prototype aircraft. That is cool right there. And yeah, of course, it's a Russian aircraft. Of course, the Tu-1, don't get me wrong, the Tu-154 is a very cool airplane, but I'm not all into like collecting Russian models because like they're just rare. They're just rare to find. I had like go to like Russia or like the Middle East, like somewhere around Russia or any like Slavic country to see these planes because these planes are very cool. But I don't think I have enough money to do that. So once again, this aircraft is registered Charlie 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 Papa 85000. And of course, this is the prototype aircraft, excuse me. Quite interesting. Alright, so now moving on downwards, next up which I have is our planes from the Tupolev Tu-14, and we're gonna start off with a very interesting aircraft. So this is a Tupolev Tu-154, not 154, a Tupolev Tu-14 PU, and what is this? Ooh, very interesting. This is like another Russian government aircraft. Forgot what the name is, like a Russian, forgot the name, like the full name, but this is another Russian government aircraft right there. And quite interesting, they have like a extended dome, which I'm not sure what that is. In the remarks it says, with radar equipment operated special flight to St. Petersburg as RSD 629. Is that like the flight number or something? But this is a very interesting aircraft, like a modification. This is a very, I think this is like the radar equipment. This is like radar. This is like a radar dome. So, because like it's a big extended piece. It runs all the way from here to like here, most in the middle of the aircraft. Of course, you got, if I could try, that's Russian in the Russian language. If I could try to pronounce this correctly, is it Russia? I think that's how I say it. But yeah, you got like the Russian, the words Russia in the Russian language, and of course you got the Tu-214 tiles right there. And very interesting aircraft, I might add. So this aircraft is registered Romeo Alpha 64520. And we should move on to our second Tupolev Tu-14. And what is that? That is going to be, of course, the Tupolev Tu-14 PU. And this is quite an interesting extension, SBUS. I'm not sure what that is. Of course, it's radar equipment. Oh, actually, is this like another radar equipment? Like another radar dome right there? Of course, we still have that long radar box right there. So that's kind of like the same thing as what we saw previously. But then we also have this like big dome right here. Probably that's another Russian equipment. And the difference between this livery, you don't see the Russia tiles right there in the middle of the aircraft. So quite interesting. Of course, this is another Russian government aircraft. And yeah, very interesting aircraft. And of course, it's a Russian airplane. But this is a very cool modification to this aircraft, I might add. So this aircraft, of course, registered Romeo Alpha 64530. Sorry, that took a while. I had to like repeat that. And yeah, that is probably it for our one for one section. Just to make sure. Actually, we do have another one. We do have, ooh, how about this? Air China Boeing 737. Actually, this is a 1-200 mile now. So they hinted some 1-200 miles as well. So I didn't have much time to like predict what the 1-200 miles are, but we do have these 1-200 miles right here. We first have the Air China Boeing 737-600, and this is this is the last retired Boeing 737-600 for Air China, and of course it has the Star Alliance logo right there. So, ooh, I also like on how they added in parentheses. This is the 1-200 miles, so I do like that addition. So of course, engine models they teased out their Boeing 737-600 mold, and now we're getting our debut of the 737-600 mold with the last Air China 737-600 to retire from their fleet. That aircraft is registered Bravo 5037. And the price, of course, is pretty much your typical price for a 1-200 model Boeing 737. Yeah. So now we move on downwards. Let's see what our next 1-200 mile is. Next up we should have is an Austrian Boeing 737-600. So of course they also released this in 1400 just a couple of years back. Not sure. Well, basically when it's one of the first models for the 737-600. Of course it's a 1-200 model once again, and of course a very nice livery for the Austrian 737-600. Yeah. So this aircraft, of course, registered Oscar Echo Lima November Lima. Our next 1-200 model is, let's see what's next on deck. Next up we have ooh, how about this? Very cool to see right here. We have an AirTran Jet Connect Bavarian CRJ 200, and I do like it. I like it. Very nice model right here. So yeah, AirTran Jet Connect CRJ 200. Of course, that's the regional jet right there. Very cool aircraft, and yeah, nice for the retro collectors in the US. And yeah, very nice aircraft, and of course it's a crappy regional jet, the flying dumpster, but hey, if you want the model, be my guest. I hope they can make a 1-400 CRJ 200 in the near future from NG models. That way, I don't know how Gemini Jets is gonna respond to that, but don't get me wrong, Gemini Jets is still good. So this aircraft is registered November 449er Alpha Whiskey. Yeah, moving on downwards. Let's see what our next 1-200 model CRJ aircraft is. Next up is, ooh, nice. US Airways Express Bavarian CRJ 200 with the gray nose. So here it is right there. So that's a wardrobe malfunction right there. Matt Cochran reference. So yeah, very nice livery, of course, with that radome, mismatched radome right there, gray nose. Yeah. Other than that, it's just like I'm assuming this is like the last US Airways livery before they merged with American. That's my potential guess. Yet I think they still had these liveries, or probably the livery before that or after that was the final livery for US Airways. But other than that, we do have this CRJ 200 looking very nice. So this aircraft is registered November 406 Alpha Whiskey. Alright, moving on downwards. Let's see what we have next. And of course, at the very bottom, we have our future releases. So let's see if we have those. Next up we should have is, ooh, nice. How about this? America West Express Bavarian CRJ 200, and this has the small titles. So here it is right there. Very nice livery, of course, back when America West Express, well, America West was in operation. Of course, they operated routes like, I'm thinking maybe they operated like Reno routes, like probably Reno. Of course, there are some cities in California as well. Probably Seattle, Oregon. Not really quite sure. I don't know much of America West's flight operation history. But other than that, we do have this aircraft right here. So this aircraft is registered November 2731 Bravo. And yeah, this should be another very nice model for the retro American collective right here. Alright, so now moving on downwards. Next, actually, I think I read the registration wrong. That's supposed to be 8. So this aircraft is registered November 27318. Alright, moving on downwards. Let's see what we have next. We have another CRJ 200. And is that yeah, that's a different registration. So we have another America West CRJ 200, but this one has the big titles instead. And look at that. They mean big right here. You got they really do mean big right here. And we got another wardrobe malfunction. We got a gray nose. Was that present on the small tiles? It was not. So we do have another wardrobe malfunction. Of course, a mismatch radome right there. And yeah, a very nice model, of course, from Gemini Jets. Not sure why that red beacon light is like a dot, but it's just a CGI. But yeah, there it is. This aircraft is registered November 37178. Alright, so now scrolling on downwards, we got a lot of 1-200 models. I wonder what the next 1-200 model is. Next up, which I have is another CRJ 200, and this one is a PF, and this is by West Atlantic. And there it is right there. I think this is a cargo CRJ 200. So this is PF. Not sure what the PF means. Probably like passenger to freighter. But very interesting. I have never heard of a cargo CRJ 200 before. And it's very interesting that West Airlines operated these. So yeah, very interesting. I think this aircraft is used to haul smaller cargo. So cargo loads with not much capacity. I'm not sure if this airline, like I'm not sure if this airline is from a small country, but yeah, very interesting aircraft right there. And of course, the passenger windows are blocked because it's the freighter aircraft, of course. So this aircraft is registered Sierra Echo Romeo India Foxtrot, and I do like on how they place the registration on the engine right there. And yeah, very nice aircraft. Alright, so now moving on downwards. How many CRJs? 5 CRJ200s this month. Very interesting. Next up we should have is another. Now we have 6 CRJ200s this month. Oh my god. And there's like so many CRJs. What am I gonna do? Of course, I'm not really interested on getting CRJ models. But yeah, we do have a British European CRJ200 next. Of course, this is a very interesting. I know it's an all white livery, but you got like the logo and the British European tiles, and that's basically it for this livery. So not much of a stellar livery, to be honest. I mean, not really much of not much of a fan of these liveries where it's just all white and then all there is just the logos and titles. Not really a big fan of this livery, but it should be a very nice model for the 1-200 British collectors. So this aircraft is registered Golf Juliet Echo Charlie Bravo. Yeah. Alright, so now moving on. Let's see what we have next. Next up we should have is... Oh, actually, that's not a CRJ 200 anymore. Now we have a CRJ 100 now. Now, I'm assuming a CRJ 100 is pretty much like the same length, and it's like the same length as the CRJ 200. And this has the basic UA blue tulip livery. Ooh, how about this? So this is like a hybrid. This is like a hybrid United and Harmony Airways livery. Very cool right here. I do like of course the United blue tulip. So pretty much they kept the blue tulip livery right there. The only thing they changed is they removed the United tiles and they removed the Harmony. They just put in the Harmony, and then they removed the tulip logo and then placed in the H, and they placed in the Canadian registration, and they placed a Canadian flag right there. So this aircraft is registered Charlie Foxtrot India Papa X-Ray. For me, I don't think I want to get this model because I know it's in the blue tulip livery, but I may not consider getting this. Well, I would love to, but I'm gonna have to like think about it. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna buy this. I'm gonna have to like think about that. But yet again, it does not have the United tiles or anything. So yeah, very interesting hybrid livery right there. And once again, this is a CRJ 100, and I'm thinking a CRJ 100 is pretty much the same length as like the CRJ 200, except there's just less seating capacities for the CRJ 100. I think that's how it is. Alright, so now moving on downwards. I know it's kind of we're almost like 45 minutes into the video, but I just want to go through these releases and give my initial thoughts on it. Alright, so now moving on downwards. Next up we should have is... There we go, now we're going for something different. We have a G550 from Turkey. I don't even know how I can pronounce the second one. Is this like a government aircraft? Maybe, it might be a government aircraft right there. Probably for like secretaries of states or something. Probably the Turkish. Well, I think the Turkish president already has his plane already, but I think this can be for government officials in Turkey. So very interesting G550 right here. Of course, a very nice cheat line right there. 3 cheat lines for this aircraft, and of course you got the Turkish flag right there, and then you got the Turkey, and I don't even know how I can pronounce that. I don't want to butcher this word. Yeah, I'm not good at saying things in Turkish. So this aircraft is registered Tango Charlie Alpha Tango Alpha, not ATA, like ATA Airlines. Tango Charlie Alpha Tango Alpha. But yeah, we do have that Turkey G550. Next up we should have is a C-37B. I think this is like the G550 US Air Force, like this kind of almost seems similar to Air Force One, but I'm not sure what this aircraft carries. I think it's for like secretaries of state, I'm guessing. But yeah, we do have this. Kind of like it. It's almost like an Air Force One style livery, but I think this is one that carries like government officials from Secretary of State, excuse me, and House of Representatives, Senates, and other government officials here in the U.S. Of course, with like, yeah, not gonna go through everything, but I think that's how this aircraft rolls. The rules of this aircraft is. So you got the U.S. Air Force logo right there, United States of America tells right there. This aircraft is registered 900-525, which once again, well, 900-0525, which I'm not sure if that's the registration. I don't think that's the registration. I think there should be like a registration somewhere over there, but not really quite sure. But hey, that's what it is. But yeah, that's the C-37B. I think I saw I remember seeing a C-37B at Sacramento one time. I think I got like an overexposed shot, which is unfortunate, but I don't know if I saw this particular registration. But yeah, nice to see that coming into this month's release set. Alright, next up we should have is a Falcon 7X from, what is this? The Egyptian Air Force, well, Arab Republic of Egypt. So I think this is a Egyptian Air Force aircraft, probably for, of course, a government official. So very nice livery. Of course, you got the Egyptian flag right there. You got the Egyptian seal right there. The Egyptian seal, and of course you got that Arab Republic of Egypt, and their tiles right there. And this aircraft is registered Sierra Uniform Bravo Tango Victor. So yeah, very nice aircraft to add for the Egyptian collectors. Moving on downwards, next up we have another Falcon 7X by Dassault Aviation, and how can I even word this? Tianzijiang, I don't even know how I pronounce that, but look at this livery. This is a very cool livery. It's not like a white plane, it's a gray plane. I do like this livery. I'm a big fan of this livery. Of course, this is an aircraft from China. The registration of this aircraft is Bravo A213, but this is a very cool livery. I like on how it's a full body livery. I also like on how they added like these white lines right there, there's like 3 white lines, which is very cool. So yeah, of course you also got this in their language, but I think this is the pronunciation of it. So once again, if I could try to pronounce this is Tianzijiang. Of course, I'm not really good at saying Chinese languages. Alright, moving on down, let's see what we have next. Interesting right here, we do have a blank Falcon 7X. Now, of course, this can also be used for customs as well, so not really necessary if I want to get this one or not. Of course, I'm on a plan on getting that blank model 7810, but for the Falcon 7X, I don't even know. But yeah, very cool model right here, cool blank model, and once again, same for the 7810. This should be perfect if you want to customize your airplanes. Alright, so now moving on down, I think we should have our future release backlog taken care of. And I think it's a singular one, and what is that going to be? That is going to be, actually, not yet, we do have more 1-200s. Wow, there's like a lot of 1-200s now. Basically, Gemini, it's almost like Gemini jets. Of course, Gemini jets will release a lot of 1-200s, but before NG would not like release not much on 1-200s, but I guess with more 1-200 models coming in, I guess it's happening right now. So here is the Jiangji. I don't even know how I can pronounce that. Jiangji ARJ21700, and this is named Xinjiang Mountains. Don't even know how I even like go through all that. How I even said the name of this airline, or how I said the name of this aircraft or anything, but this is a very cool aircraft once again, of course, with the ARJ21. This is like almost like a Chinese version of like a Boeing 717. Well, technically a Chinese version of the CRJ and 717. This almost looks like a 717 fuselage. These engines almost look like CRJ engines, and you got the winglets right there, similar to CRJs. So yeah, this is pretty much the knockup of a CIJ and a 717. But this aircraft is registered Bravo 605 Victor. Yeah. Alright, so moving on down, we should have next is another Shizha. Okay, I'm not gonna say the aircraft's name again. It's just so hard. We have another ARJ 21700 from this airline. Of course, this is a different livery. Wait, I think the previous one was a special livery. Yeah, almost like a special livery almost. You got this, some form of ribbon, kind of like representing a dragon almost. And then you got the tiles right there. But this is the second one. This one doesn't really have anything. It's just a regular livery almost. You got the Chinese tiles right there. And the aircraft registration is Bravo 605 Tango. So nothing really much too special on this livery. But the aircraft name is Ceramic Art Avenue, city of, oh no, Jingdezhen. Once again, I do apologize if I butchered that name. I'm not sure if I even pronounced that name correctly. But we do have this model right here. And moving on downwards, we have, there we go. There's our future release model right here. We have the Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental BOAC Fantasy livery. And this is NG Model's first Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental model. And there she is right there, looking absolutely pretty. And it's a nice addition to the BOAC Cargo 747-8 freighter. Now we're getting NG's first 747-8i. So very nice right there. And yeah, kind of like similar to like the Cargo, it's a very nice fantasy livery. And yeah, of course, British Airways had the 747-400 in the BOAC retro livery to celebrate British. Well, technically not British Airways' 100th anniversary because, the founding of this airline before it was British Airways. But we do have this beautiful model. Unfortunately, the 747-400 is now scrapped, which I think is because of the lack of funds, which honestly, that is very unfortunate. But yeah, it is what it is. But hopefully we can see another BOAC retro livery on another airplane soon. Not sure which aircraft will go on. Hopefully an A380 though. But either way, we do have this 747-8. I don't even know. I might try to get this model because I did a review of the 747-8 mold from Airlines International 2023. So, and the BOAC livery looks very nice on the Boeing 747, especially the 747-400. So, I might try to get this model in the foreseeable future because that is just a very cool livery. So this aircraft is registered, well, it's the same registration as for the freighter aircraft, Golf, Bravo, Oscar, Alpha, Charlie. So I don't know which one I can pick, but most likely I'll just pick the Intercontinental variant, which is reasonable. And yeah, I might get my first 747-8 mold, which is very nice. And I think that shall do it. Yup, that shall do it for the October 2023 release, excuse me, that took a while. But of course we got our feature release set, and of course, it's the same thing. And yeah, it's just only one model, the Etihad 787-9 in the Mission Impossible livery. So yeah, a lot of models. I don't even know how many models. I think there were I don't know if I can count them. There's probably over 30 models here in this release set. So of course, NG Models coming in with a big release set. Of course, this video is now 53 minutes long because that just shows how long this release set is. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I make this outro quick without making this video too long. But what I'm gonna be getting is probably that British Airways 777-200ER in the Great Festival of Creativity livery. That's one model on my list. Of course, I'm not gonna get it right away. The 7810, that's also on a feature hold right now. Next up, what I'm gonna get, I think I might get this at some point. I might try to go after this model, the Delta A319. That is just a nice addition to my Delta Airlines fleet, and I'm glad NG Models has finally done a US registered Airbus A319. Well, this is their second US registered Airbus A319. They already did the Spirit A319, and I'll also get the Alaska A320 with sharklets, although this aircraft is already retired. I'll get the two Spirits, of course, with the sharklets and fence wingtips. By the way, The Spirit with Sharkless has the Home of the Bearfare tiles. The one with Fence Wingtips has the Spirit.com tiles. So that's one change. Might get the level 2, this A320-200. And yeah, under that, oh, also, I might also get this BOAC 747-8 as well. So yeah, very nice addition for all these models right here for the October 2023 releases. And once again, I do apologize if I'm making this like around almost 9 in the evening because I had like a very busy day and I didn't really have much time to go through all these releases. But I'm seeing them right now, and overall, this is a very nice release set from NG Models. A lot of stuff that many collectors want to see, and yeah, I'm very glad that NG Models is doing the part on getting models, making models on what the community requested. So yeah, very nice set from NG Models. Of course, it's another big set, but that's how NG Models rolls right here. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thanks. Yeah. So other than that, to give my final thoughts on this NG release, it's another nice release set, and I can't wait to see what NG has in the near future, especially for all these US models right here. But of course, you gotta like give respect to all the other international collectors right here from Europe and Asia. So great work, NG, and continue on what you gotta do and get all these models out for the collectors so they can enjoy their models at their collection. And yeah, that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.